I had mentioned earlier that if it's written in your contract or you're told by the company that you work for or your boss or whatever that you have a particular uniform or something that you have to wear, obviously wear that. And that includes safety equipment. So I'm going to go through that right now. Starting off with just your regular safety goggles. Mine are really scratched and beat up because I've dropped them on the ground a lot. I've dropped them on tables and everything. So they just have a bunch of scratches and scuff marks on them. But basically anything that can cover your eyes and will protect you from any flying projectiles, which could be like anything, flying pieces of lumber, glass, metal, like anything that can cut you basically. I would not suggest wearing your own eyeglasses and having them double as safety glasses. I would say get a larger pair of safety glasses that can fit over your own prescription glasses if that's possible. Or I suppose you could get prescription safety glasses. I'm sure that's a thing. I do have regular glasses that I wear when I go to school and when I drive at night, but I don't require them in my average day-to-day life. So I just don't wear glasses to work, and then I wear my safety glasses whenever I'm working at a saw or doing, walking around where there's lots of machinery. It's just good to sort of wear them all the time, but I do take them off and put them on periodically as needed. I do wear headphones for hearing protection, and they look basically like these headphones. They're over the ears. I don't like wearing things that go inside of the ears just because it's my earwax is not dry, so it just feels gross to me. I don't have them here with me, but there is definitely picture/video footage of me wearing them. I'll put that somewhere here. Moving on with safety equipment, gloves. These are just a cheap pair of work gloves. They're kind of rubber on the fingers and palm of the hand and fabric on the back of the hand. I'm not really sure what brand these are, but these are the kinds that my dad uses. And while I think that wearing gloves is important for safety, especially if you want to keep, bruises and cuts off of your hands and wrists, that's fine. But the problem I have with work gloves is that they are terrible at circulating air. They are terrible at sort of being breathable. Every time I would put these on, I would just sweat buckets into them, and it's disgusting, and I just hated wearing them. I went looking for a pair of gloves that didn't do that, and I found these Dakota Work Pro Series, which are kind of built, they look like winter mitts, actually. You kind of have this sort of leathery material on the fingers, and sort of fabric-y on the back. The problem that I had with these is that while they had better air circulation, so I wasn't sweating into them, but I was also still working in 20 degrees Celsius weather, and so my hand would get unbelievably warm, but I wouldn't be sweating into it. It was still really uncomfortable, so I had to go look again for a good pair of gloves, and I've finally settled on these, the general purpose firm grip, these yellow gloves. They've got, extra sort of padding in the fingertips. No, in the palm of the hand, sorry. And they're just the easy sort of Velcro on, Velcro off. You just obviously put your hand in there, and then do up the straps. They're really firm. They're really nice and comforting to the skin. I can really feel the padding is there, but it's not thick, so you don't really feel like you're wearing a baseball mitt. It has on the index and thumb a little touchscreen thing so that you can use your phone when you're at work, which I don't really suggest doing, but it's an option now. I found that these were the best in terms of air circulation, and They do a really good job at protecting things. I've just, worked with wood, metal, lots of other products, and I haven't gotten a scratch while wearing these. All the injuries I have on my hands are when I work with my bare hands. So I definitely suggest these as your go-to. And another bonus is that they fit small hands, because my hands are tiny and I have small fingers, and I've found really good small gloves with this brand as opposed to most other brands. Lastly, in terms of safety equipment, I just wanted to cover masking. Obviously COVID, but even if these are not mandated per your, place of work, it's still really important to wear these for certain situations. Anytime you're working with possibly toxic material, especially fumes, you must be wearing a mask. There are certain kinds of material that when cut with saws release dust that you do not want to inhale. It's really bad for your lungs, so wearing a mask while operating saws and cutting those materials is very important. And any time that you are working with animal scat, animal poop, so whether that's mice, bats, any other creatures that might be in a workspace or around a workspace, anytime you are faced with that, you're putting a mask on just because you don't want any of that in your system. It's all, just sort of health and safety, basic things. Really important to have that. And of course, last in safety equipment, the thing that everybody gets the most excited for when they go into Home Depot or Canadian Tire, the thing that everybody wants to buy, you need a good belt. Now, the problem for people who look like me is that you can never find a belt that is small enough for you. Any shop that sells construction equipment or carpentry equipment automatically assumes that the people buying their products are big, muscular men. Obviously, I am not that. What I suggest you do is one of two things. One is don't buy an apron-style belt like this. This is my belt, and I like it, but I'll tell you why you shouldn't buy one. Most apron-style belts are not designed to fit you at all. They are a belt that has notches, like your typical dress belt, and then pouches along it. There is never enough holes in the belt to go small enough to fit your waist. It's never going to happen. When I went looking for one, I never found one that was small enough. There were never enough notches. There were never enough holes in the belt to fit me. You're not going to find it. I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist. Instead of getting an apron-style belt, get something that's more like a vest or like pseudo overalls that clips at the waist and over the shoulders, and will probably clip in at the chest. It'll disperse the weight more evenly, and it'll fit your body way better than any work belt. That being said, they are way more expensive than getting just regular construction belts, and that is the one drawback. So if you do not have the money to get option one, then you can get an apron-style pouch, but you can only get specific kinds. And here's why. Because most belts are just typical belts with a set amount of holes, it's never going to fit you. Most of these apron-style belts are never going to fit you, unless you find one that has adjustable buckles like this. It is almost identical to the setup of these kinds of dress belts. And most importantly, find one that has a metal on metal clip. Always. You're going to find a lot of belts that are plastic on plastic, sort of like those bicycle helmet clips. Those are going to break. Do not buy those. And I'll just quickly show you how to properly put it on. So this is your belt. All the pockets go to the outside. You go around the waist, clip one end into the other, however that clip is, again, metal on metal, and then you take the whole thing and you turn it around so that all the pockets are on the front. Now, when I bought this belt, I cinched it up to where it fits on me. Again, very, very skinny, very tiny, but the issue I had is that even though it was all clipped and cinched up, I had this long flap that was just waving around, and there was no way to clip it to itself, so I just bought a couple packets of Velcro, and I just, they were stick-on Velcro, so this is stuck on here, and I did a really terrible sewing job of putting the Velcro strips onto the extra flap, and I just Velcroed it to itself, and it stayed like that, and now I don't have to adjust it anymore. I can just turn it around and unclip it, and that's it. I never have to take that Velcro strip on or off ever again, unless of course I gain or lose weight. If you want to look for this exact kind of belt, I just showed the label here. I believe that says, I don't know if this is supposed to be pronounced Kunis. It's Kuny's, and this style is AP-1300. Maybe it's Kunis. I don't know. But yeah, this particular style just has 2 big pockets and 1 small pocket in the middle, and 2 metal loops, and a bunch of these slim inside pockets where the loops are. There's one on either side. And I actually have really gotten used to this setup. I actually quite enjoy working with this belt all the time. And I'm going to go through everything that I have on it in a totally different video. First option, get the over-the-shoulder style tool setup. Second option, if you can't get that style because it's too expensive or you can't find one that fits you, get the apron style, get one like mine. Again, metal on metal clip, fully adjustable, no belt notches, and you can just sort of DIY the extra strap. The next video I put out is going to be me going through everything that I carry in my tool belt every day at work, and I'm really excited for that video because I get to go through all the tools that I use. It's really exciting. I like all the stuff I get to use. But yeah, this is the end of this video. If there are any questions that you have for me as somebody who is in this line of work, feel free to ask down in the comments below, and I will try and answer them as best as I possibly can. All right, I'll see you in the next one.